You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Frankton head coach Brent Brobston joins us after the girls basketball tournament here at Frankton to talk a little boys basketball. Coach has been a great contributor to the podcast pretty much all season, and now he joins us live. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So tell us, Brent, what was practice like tonight as you prepare for Pendleton tomorrow?
Rehabilitation, just trying to stretch, ice bath, and then after that, it was all just about Pendleton. And nothing on our feet, just a little bit of shooting. But mostly just to focus on Pendleton and talk about them and how we're going to defend them and how we're going to play.
Well, who won the championship belt?
Baron Dietzer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
You were here for a little bit. Yeah.
That's
so
right.
once Greg left, then that's when they got done with the rehabilitation inside, and then that's when we kind of began and started focusing in on everything the last hour there from 4 to 5.
So what are going to be the keys against what are the keys for you against Pendleton to stay in the game, to keep it close, to win?
Well, defensively, they're a really tough guard because they got 4 guys that can shoot 40% or higher from the three-point line. So that's going to be an issue for us. And we would like, to think that we would be able to defend that by now. But they just, for them, strength, experience. It's a 4A team for us to go up against. So it's just, can we handle their strength for 4 quarters, Are we able to do that? That's going to be a question mark a little bit, but I think that if we can cover the three-point line, we haven't been out-rebounded yet this year. Is it coming? I don't know when. This could be another game of that tough challenge, but we've played so many difficult teams at this point that it's just add them to the list. So
you could use an easy one, couldn't you?
Yeah. But it's going to be a great challenge, and it'll be fun to go up against Coach Buck. Obviously, he's one of the best.
It's I think it's fantastic. I mean, you started the tournament with a nice win over a much improved Anderson prep team, and then of course you were right in it and had a shot to tie it on the last possession of Wednesday's game. So I'm guessing that overall you're probably pretty pleased with where your team is at, and people should not pay too close attention to your record because you are a much better team than your record indicates.
Yeah, the record's deceiving. I would agree with that at this point. And this team is now starting to play the way we want to play. I think the best part about it is that we played a difficult schedule early, and that taught us what we were deficient at, and we now have a system in place that we feel like going forward fits our team the best. And it's still a system within what we do, but it's just ironing out things. What defense are you going to play? What are you going to be best at defensively? Offensively, what are you going to be best at and what are you going to do there? So from an offensive standpoint, we're starting to figure that out.
And you still have some key conference matchups coming up after this and later this month and into February, right? I mean, you still have Blackford left and Mississinawa.
Yeah, that's the thing. Our schedule, we really haven't played a lot of games yet. I mean, people are way ahead of us in terms of games, and we'll be at 10 games after tomorrow. But we got 13 left in the sectional, so there's a long ways to go. We're still in the conference race, and we've got quite a few. We've still got 5 conference games left, so it's. I really like where we're at. If we can continue to do what we've done in the last 2 games, we'll be difficult for everyone to beat every night. And I'm not saying we're going to win all of them, but we'll be difficult to beat. And I like where we're headed by sectional time. I think we'll be really hard to beat.
Coach, your team is going to travel about 10 miles in January. You got to like that. This is one of the best places in the state to play a basketball game, and you're going to get to do that a lot.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So, we've played 10 games once we finish this Pendleton game, 7 on the road. So we're undefeated at home, 3-0, and the majority of our games now are at home. So that's going to be huge for us, and that's going to be an advantage for us, obviously.
Okay, Brent, I want to ask you, because obviously being there, you saw the Anderson game, and then you played Liberty Christian. How do you see Friday night's championship game matching up between those two schools?
It's a lot like LaPel Frankton, Anderson Liberty. I think you can throw the records out. You can throw everything out. You saw that last year in the championship game. Anderson is super talented. They're very well coached. Donnie's done a really good job with them, and he has 2 assistant coaches that people just don't really recognize that they're there. Basil Malby and John Hamilton.
I forgot. I forgot.
So when your assistant coaches are Basil Malby and John Hamilton,
how many wins do they have between them?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, 2 Hall of Fame guys that are just excellent coaches. They're on the bench for him. So that's, but that's what I like about Donnie and what he's done is that's what you want. You want guys on your bench. Like I have Bacher, and then I've got guys that, are Brady Ashton, who's younger, and guys that have been with me. But Bacher's been around the game for 30 years.
And Ryan Van Skyhock's doing that over there at Elwood, too.
Yes,
surrounding himself with.
You want people that are going to tell you what you're not doing well. And now, on the other end of that, Norman's done a really good job. I was really impressed with Liberty. I thought they were disciplined in what they tried to do. I thought Norman did a really good job with them. They're very talented. Sophomores, they're younger, so
they play pretty smart basketball.
Yeah.
They're careful with the ball.
And they're so deep.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's the advantage. Most schools, small schools, Class A size schools, aren't 10 deep.
Right.
There are even 8 quality deep. I mean, he can put 8 players on the floor that are capable of scoring double figures.
Right, absolutely. And just like last night, Harrelson's averaging 3 points a game going into that game. We want Harrelson to take shots, but he made them. So he steps up. He's a good player, but he's and scores 11 points against us. That kind of hurt us. But I think you're going to see the rivalry of it all, the matchup between Liberty and Anderson. There's a little bit of a rivalry there right now.
You going to stick around?
I think we probably will. Yeah, I think we will. I think our kids want to see it. They probably want to watch it. We want to see the environment of it all. I think it'll be a good matchup. So I think we plan to stay. And it'll be an interesting game because last year people didn't give Liberty much of a chance in it, and it was pretty close for a long time. And then the game this year, I can't remember what the final score was, but it was very close.
What after this weekend, and what do you have next weekend?
So we have, after this week, we don't play till next Friday against Madison Grant. And that's all we got next week, just Madison Grant.
Yeah, Madison Grant, then Taylor at home the following Tuesday, then Blackford and West L on a double weekend, then at Elwood and Tri-Central at home on another double weekend. Got a couple of those coming up. Not many this year, though.
No, so Eastern Greentown dropped us a few months before the season, so we had to pick up somebody. We were able to get Taylor.
Which that's actually that's a good get for you.
Great
actually.
pickup, for us, because I don't think they've lost.
They have not
They're
lost.
10-0. And the other thing about Taylor is that they're in our sectional.
You're in your sectional.
So we're going to go see them. So that game will actually be played at the beginning of the year next year. So for us,
well, that's kind of nice because
this
they
year.
used to be at the beginning.
Yeah, and so
of the
now,
year.
we've picked them up, put that back there on that Wednesday night before Thanksgiving.
So
So that'll, like you said, we've got a week, and then we play 4 games in 1 week, basically.
Right. When the new sectionals came out, you couldn't have loved that moment too much, could you? That is one killer sectional.
Yeah, it's a tough, but
you can't. You had it to.
Yeah,
I mean, at 40 when you were in 2A.
that's
but,
right.
I mean, I know you were 3A the last
Yeah,
2 years,
welcome
but
back
even
to
there
2A.
it was 2A was a tough one.
Yeah,
Wapahani.
Yeah,
and
we've
LaPel.
always had Wapahani and LaPel in our sectional, so we've never, in Winchester, a lot of times when they were good, so we've never had that easy road to be able to, for any of us, Wapahani, LaPel, or us, so Wapahani not being in it, that's actually nice. I mean, good for us.
Point, yeah.
And they're up with Blackford, Ellick, Eastbrook, all them up there. But what a sectional it's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Tipton, LaPel, Taylor, Frankton, Sheridan, Elwood. Elwood's got guys back now. They're going to shock a few teams coming up. That's because of who they got back to help them.
You got to think that's about 5 pretty even teams.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree.
At least at this point in the season.
Yeah, I think any of them can win on any given night. It's going to be fun. It'll be a really good sectional.
That draw is going to be big, isn't it?
Huge. That's what I was going to say. The draw, That
did
draw
you,
is going to be highly
how'd you
watched.
get it to be here? What'd you do?
Just a meeting. We all met, and when we met,
come on.
no
Bribery, no.
No, I didn't bribe him too much. I said, let's try it one time and let's see how it works.
How's the seating going to work?
Well,
And I only say that because
we're going to find out that week.
And I say
Because
that because you guys bring a large crowd.
Yeah.
And Tipton, come tournament time, I mean, they usually
Right.
have a large crowd.
I think you're going to see a full house. It's going to depend on the draw and who plays in those first round games. And I think that draw will be extremely important. And then that'll kind of dictate the setup of the gym and how it's going to be, because it's going to be packed. And we've never hosted it in the school's history. So with the new bleachers, we said we would love to try it one time, and all the ADs said, sounds good, let's try it at Frankton once and see if it works. And if it doesn't, and it's just not able to do it, then we'll know in the future not to host it. But I think we've got a great administration team that's going to be in.
Oh yeah, you'll be
It'll
great.
be run well.
And a biased,
yes, it will be run
biased
well.
athletic secretary is probably the best,
The
Katrina. And
Yes.
if she wasn't here, I wouldn't probably attempt to host it. But she'll be looking forward to it because she'll like to host it. But yeah, whether we bring seats to the stage or not, that'll be a question now too. Are we going to bring seating up here and have that in here too?
Well, you're going to do that. I mean, Tipton took seats, but that's where they put the teams.
Yeah,
they put the teams up here, so then that way
yes, and that'll be a potential possibility to have media here and maybe seats behind the media, with risers and stuff where the teams can sit. So, yeah, those are the things that we're going to have to work through and figure out.
Brent, thank you so much.
Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
And
Thank
good
you.
luck. And
Thanks.
We always appreciate your time.
No, thanks
You're
for
a
having
busy
me.
man, and
No.
we love having you.
Love what you guys are doing.
Thanks so much to Coach Brobston for joining the Central Indiana Sports Report. Like I said, anything we ask for, we get from the Frankton Athletic Department and from Brent, and we are so grateful to him and to great athletic directors all over the area. Thanks for listening. Please go right now and like, subscribe, or follow us on your favorite podcasting host so you don't miss a single segment. We are now also streaming on YouTube. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.